first scrimmage was tough for the offense in general, and it seems to have improved some over the last couple weeks.
We've picked up. The rhythm's gotten a lot better. When you're dealing with offense, we had 15 practices in the spring. Really just finished our second spring ball, the next 15 practices. So it was good to see the rhythm kind of get going. It was snap counts, it was cadences, it was multiple guys playing together. Coach Lee, we had an awesome plan to kind of mix personnel so we could build some depth in black and gold teams, and really after about a week and a half settled into more ones, twos versus ones, twos. And I think that you see that come together, and it kind of showed how the offense was better, kind of the top 11.
Seems like Ben Cox has developed some. How have you seen him develop? Which areas, and what's he giving you guys right now at guard?
Yeah, Ben's done an awesome job. Ben's a guy that's high energy, ultra positive. He's the guy every day you're going to hear, positive stuff, positive balance. He's coming out to practice with a lot of energy, and I think the guys feed off that. And so as a line, I've always been a believer. It's the guys that make the five best. They're the ones that are going to go click. They're going to operate. Sometimes when all the stuff's moving or it gets intense, you just got to know what that guy next to you is doing from a word or feeling him on the previous block. And you see those guys in there working together. He's kind of a glue guy for us from an energy and emotional standpoint.
What have you seen out of Michael Warden in center?
Mike's a guy who is extremely smart. He's a student of the game. He's an older guy. O-line, and it's a developmental position. It's what we're going to build on here. We're going to recruit long athletes. But Mike is a guy who has continued to develop. He's got 4 years in college football. He understands situational football, the severity of each situation, what's going to happen. The game's slowed down enough for him that he can predict, kind of what are we going to see from the defense. And he remembers what he's seen the days before. So you see that experience show up. And that's really the piece right now that is helping him the most, is he's playing like a veteran.
What do you think is the next step for Akibo?
Well, I think the biggest, Akibo's made huge strides this camp. The game continues to slow down for him. He's really a true freshman. Without a fall camp last year, being on the scout team, he's had 15 plays in our offense, 15 spring practices in our offense. And so for him, it's all starting to slow down. And it's not as much as a guy who's been around 3 or 4 years and, hey, cadences and finish and get back up and set the huddle, and all that stuff's being processed by him and the rest of that kind of young class.
Do you have your 5 at this point, or is it still?
No, I think we got probably 8 guys that we're working through that top 5 right now. I feel good about them. Could put them in at any time, any place. I think, in a perfect world, you got a couple guys you can roll throughout the game to give a breather, give a spell. But yeah, we got a small group right now that have either proven and been guys that have played in games and been successful that we can count on. And then there's some young guys with some energy and some athleticism that haven't played as much, that provide a little bit of spark and oomph to the group. So that mix, I think, is really the last little piece we're putting together.
I know you're not coaching them per se, but what do you see from the defensive line in terms of the challenges they're providing your group relative to the spring?
Well, I think they're a much more intense group right now than they were in the spring. I love the way they're playing. That's Coach Noakes, Coach Hay. They feed off those guys coaching, and all 3 of us are guys that we believe in banging, and we're going to hit and we're going to interact a lot. We do a lot of individual together, drill work together. Because I think the better look you see from both sides, the better we're going to get. And any good football team is going to be sound and physical at the line of scrimmage, and I think that's the best part. They like to tie it up and compete every day.